Okay. Hello there. Thank you for following this link to find out about reciprocal reading and how you can sort of use it at home to support your child. So I just wanted to run through what it is and then some ways that you might be able to use it at home to perhaps discuss some texts that you're reading. It could be that you're reading a newspaper article or reading an article online together or whatever it might be, but to talk about some ways that you can support your child with understanding that text. And to sort of support what we're doing in school. So reciprocal reading is a strategy that we have started using this term across the curriculum. So hopefully your child will have seen it in a variety of subjects. It's essentially a reading strategy or reading practice sort of thing that uses 4 key elements. So predicting, clarifying, questioning, and summarizing. And one of the reasons that we are using this is because the Education Endowment Foundation has established that it's a really effective strategy or can have an impact on students of all abilities. It can lead to up to 4 additional months of progress in reading, which is going to be especially useful considering the interruptions to the last year or so, or year or two of their education. So especially for our students who are coming up in year 7, for example. The 4 elements are used each time or used in order, and they're repeated each time a text is read. So you can use it across different texts. It might be that you use all 4 at once, or that you're using one at a time and maybe just discussing them and things like that. And it can just take place as a short conversation. So our aim, and by sharing this with you as well, is that eventually students internalize these processes and they become something that they use habitually when they're tackling an unfamiliar or challenging text by themselves. So when they've seen it in school, it might have looked something like this, or there is a slightly more detailed version which looks like this. So their teachers may have got them to discuss their responses, they may have written their responses. So the first element of it is predicting. So you may find that you're looking at a text together, or you may find that you are doing a bit of reading linked to maybe what they're doing in English, or it could be that they're reading a text that is linked to history or a science page, like a page from a textbook or something like that. And the prediction element is just getting them to think about what information they might come across, what they think might happen later in a book, or what they might learn from the text. So it might be that you just read the couple of opening lines together, or you look at the headline from a newspaper article, or the images that are associated with a textbook or an article, and just getting them to think about what they might encounter and just discussing that with them. And the second thing is to then clarify any words that they are not sure of. So it can be looking up the meaning of difficult vocabulary, doing that together. It could be then talking about what words are similar, and that's one of the skills that they may have been developing through their lessons as well, is trying to build the links across the curriculum. So they might, for example, like the one you can see on the board here, sorry, it's not a lesson, on the slide, is that the root of the word, or the root bio, they can then transfer that across different subjects. So they might talk about biodiversity, or they might be talking about biology. They've both got the same root, and they're forming those connections then. So it could be a chance to explore the origins of words. I've put a couple of links there, or just clarifying those bits of vocabulary together. Thirdly is questioning, so getting them to come up with some teacher-style questions. It's essentially comprehension, which they'll be very familiar with from primary school if you're a parent of a year 7 child. But it's essentially getting them to think about what they've uncovered from the text and then testing you, for example. Finally, then, I'm just conscious I've only got a little bit of time left on the recording, is summarising. So getting them to summarise what they've read is a really powerful tool. It proves their ability or improves their ability to recall information and express ideas based on what they've read. So it can be that they simply tell you what an article is about, what the book they're reading is about, and exploring some of those ideas and getting them to summarise it in a concise way. And these are the sort of resources we're using in lessons. I know that was a very, very quick run through. If you do have any questions or want some sort of further advice on it, I've just put my email address on there. Feel free to get in touch and I can point people in the right direction if you need any guidance.